Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Nick, and today we're playing out the SU-30. Now, I've sped up this past, I think it's like 2-3 minutes of just positioning, and some hopeless BVR shots, because, you know, this thing does get 12 Fox 3s. But I'll go over it. So, with the SU-30, you typically want to play a passive line. You know, there are some games where you can be aggressive, but I'm not at the level where I can distinguish that. Because truth be told, I'm a recovering American main, so I really don't know a lot about positioning or any of that stuff. So, yeah. But basically, in all 3 games today, I just play a passive line, because that's really all I know how to do, really. But this is where the actual action starts. I fire an R-77 at a J-10. Now I didn't know it at the time, but this J-10 was actually flat spinning. So this would be the first kill. This is the 3-kill game. But, you know, I didn't know that, but it's a pretty shameless kill, so I'm not really counting it in my book. The next shot is at SU-27 on my radar. I do believe it's a SU-33, actually. But it has a relatively, because that's the same reason the Su-30 and the Su-33 show up as the Su-27 on radar, because they have the relatively same radar cross-section. I don't know how the radar distinguishes it, but so there's a second kill. It's just a top-down launch, aiding to my point that multipathing is an ancient myth. Same thing happens with the Gripen. Pretty easy kill there because he wasn't aware of me, and I had like 7 missiles at that point that I could just throw off, so unless my teammates would have killed him, he was dead by me either way. So I pop a blind hunt here, but in reality I didn't really need to, because I fly all the way over there just for my teammate to get him. So, you know, 3 kills isn't terrible, but the next games are better, so let's move to those. Once again, I am speeding up the positioning because it's just borderline boring. But basically what I'm doing here is playing a passive line again. I know, real original. But this time I actually don't bother with burning all my chaff on one missile. I end up doing a loop, and I think it's called energy defeating. I'm not too educated in that, but energy defeating the missile because it didn't have enough energy to track me through the full loop, and then by the time I'm flying back in a straight line, it's either behind me or doesn't have enough energy to maneuver with me. So I throw off a couple hopeless BVR shots there. That's the same reason why it's sped up, because they didn't hit. But 12 Fox 3s gives you wiggle room to do stuff like that. Now, a lot of the kills in this game are going to be because people are multipathing, and I get a top-down launch on them. As it is for the most part this game. I think I snipe an F-18 here, and I should have watched this. Yeah, I do. I sniped that F-18, and then because it was a top-down, he was multipathing, and then I sniped this F-15. Pretty easy kill because he wasn't aware I was there, and just runs straight into my missile. I believe that's another hopeless launch. I've watched this footage back like twice, so I'm not too sure, but that doesn't hit, I don't think. I fire one at one of the Eurofighters. I fire quite a bit of missiles here, but they're all top down, and I do have an abundance of Fox 3s. EF2K goes down because, again, he was multipathing, and I had a top down launch on him. I've taken an F-18 late out of the game because, then again, he's multipathing, I get a top down on him. And then it's pretty much blank space from here on out. I do end up running for most of the time, and then I end up sniping an F-18 and then dying to a J10 because I had the shittiest notch and recommit like ever. So I'm gonna, there's the F-18 kill, and I'll save you guys the trouble of watching it. I'll just skip to the part where I die, and then boo-hoo, why I died next game. So not much excuses for why I died here. I tried to eliminate the munition that was thrown at me, and I ended up bottling it because I couldn't be bothered to notch, and I died because of that. 5 kills though, so nothing to scoff at, of course. And the 2 times you could actually see me acknowledge the fact that my entire team was gone, but you know. On to the next game here. Again, 12 R77, so I can afford to throw off some BVR shots, but this time one of them actually lands, given it wasn't so BVR, it was 15 kilometers. But regardless, it's because I had a top-down aspect, and the guy was trying to multipath some missiles that were being launched at his level. I will say multipathing can be used effectively in the right situations. It's just a lot of the times, a lot of the kills in this video are because people are multipathing, and then I get a top-down launch, and it's a free kill. So, multipathing can either make or break your game, and you have to make sure you're doing it right. I get this launch at a SU-30SM. I think he goes down to that because it's a top-down, and he's trying to notch. I throw another one at a SU-30. He can't really do a lot about it because he's trying to evade. Unfortunately, he does die to my teammate's missile, but, you know, it's just War Thunder. Your kills are gonna get... Someone's always gonna have a missile out before you and get the kill. It's War Thunder. You get 12 missiles that are Fox 3, so deal with it. I get another kill on the F-15. You know, oblivious of my existence, and just didn't evade in time. I fire an R-73 at this J-10 because I failed to realize an R-77 would have fit better about 5 seconds ago. I missed that, so I go to get some range. I go to extend. That was the word I was looking for. And I flare like crazy here because I really just don't feel like dying. The missile comes within yards of me, I'll say. But I managed to evade it because I had energy it. I fire a very funky aspect R-77-1 at him, but fortunately enough for me, it turns into a ballistic missile and just spears him from high altitude. So I actually pop a blind hunt here, but the guy ends up going back to his airbase and J'ing out, which unfortunately that's how most top tier games play out. I acknowledge it in chat. Yeah, and please like and subscribe. I'll get that out there right now. I literally I haven't uploaded in a while, and and if you're listening to this, you probably just haven't clicked off yet, but I haven't uploaded in a lot of months, which means YouTube isn't really putting me on the algorithm as much as it did. So like and subscribe would be appreciated. Thanks, bye.